It's for UTMB Mont Blanc. Let's just call it that. It's been huge for the growth of trail running. It's unrecreatable, almost uncreatable, because Mont Blanc is an amazing mountain, and the race is a circuit of the mountain. There's something special about that, and it was one of the first big global trail races and globally competitive trail races, and it has its location, its history, and the inherent competition. So it's the race in the world of trail ultra marathons, and that's pretty incredible, and it does provide a stage for the best performances by the best runners who like mountainous trail ultra marathons. That's a subgroup of people, but it's the most important event, and it has grown, and the whole festival has grown, and there's local impacts. There's impacts it's more expensive to be here, not to pay the race, but to just rent and be here, and you have to make your logistical arrangements before the lottery happened, and it's a challenge, and getting around the course and actually just reporting from the checkpoints. It's big, and it's if you're going to cover the sport, if you're going to go cover the finals of the World Cup, or whatever your prefer, if you're going to go to the Olympics, as a journalist, it's going to be expensive, it's going to be difficult, everyone's going to be there, and you're going to have to work harder to get the stories and the information, but they're there, and that's why you're there. As an athlete, I don't think things have changed a ton from that perspective in 10 years. It's essentially the same number of runners. I don't know how much it's gone up or down slightly over the years. You're going to be out there with 2,500 or so people, and you're going to be walking in a row for 50 kilometers or running in a row for 50 kilometers evening, and you're going to be looking at the mountains in this valley, and that's amazing. There's iconic views, not even specific views, but it's a beautiful setting and a tremendous race and a big challenge. It's not an easy race. There's a ton of climbing, and there's 178 kilometers or whatever it is this year, so it's a pinnacle event for people, and I understand why they would want to do that. I don't know that right now that's for me. That's not a demonization or a negative against it. I like really small and really remote events. I was talking with Michel in Catherine Politi after Western States, and they're like, well, if you're going to come over and report on the race, well, I think you'd like TDS, and I might like TDS better because it's a little smaller and a little more wild, and that's more just the style of more toward the style of what I want in my own running these days. But that's not some people want the excitement or the size. It is a pinnacle challenge and a pinnacle experience. So there's something very drawing about that. I'll end on the UTMB Mont Blanc for right now.
As Brian said, it's thank you UTMB. You made this sport bigger. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows UTMB, and that's the best stage each year to come to see. Each year we have to book before because we are even busier than the year before. So I think it's cool, but in the same that Brian said, you can decide. To me, probably it's not the race. I haven't raced this race because it's not the kind of race that I like. It's too busy to me. But that's my choice. I'm choosing to not be here. But if you see UTMB, you cannot say this is a bad race. This is a bad organization. This is Formula One.
It's more like trail running shoes now.
It's Monaco.
And you get to race against Mario Andretti. I don't know who the top F1 people are now, but you're the normal person, and you're racing.
You're racing
in the same races.
Best, So I think UTMB helped the sport to grow to the place that we are right now, and with this, probably. Try running gear, more brands are excited to come in this world, blah, blah, blah. So that's my thoughts.
And so to go to buy UTMB, I don't think it's added anything to the US. To be perfectly honest, I don't understand it. They haven't created any new races that I know of. They bought a few of them, they just created the Pacific Trails California, or whatever the exact name of that race is. But there's one the Desert Rats race is less than 3 hours from where I lived. I never thought about running it before it got bought. I haven't thought, it's not that it's a bad race, it's just there's nothing that like drew me to it beforehand or since. Like it doesn't, adding a name doesn't may not like make it necessarily a better event or a worse event. It's just it is a way to get stones. It's going to have more runners. The same with like Kodiak Ultra Marathon. Like it's never been an important race in the U.S. and it is. I'm sure it's always been a well organized race and people have had great experiences there. But it hasn't, like, it's going to probably be more competitive. I think it's the North American Finals or whatever the exact title is next year. So it's going to be more competitive. But they are adding a new race next year. But I don't think other than that they've added a race in the created a new race in the United States. I mean, but the cool thing about it is and I've said this for a long time, so you have a UTMB they have say 5 or 6 races next year in the US, or 5 or 6 events, and even if it was 10 or 20, if you want to do a small local race, you can still do them. There's people who want to do those races. There's that same atmosphere. I don't necessarily want music at the start line, maybe the finish line, whatever, you're hanging out for a while, but like I don't need to be hyped up at the start line. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people want that experience. Yes. Awesome, that's served. I can still go to the little race. And there's so many of them, and there's between some small race organizations or independent races, there's probably more of them than ever in the US. And I'm actually a little sad to hear that maybe some of those have gone away in Spain, and like there's been some races that have gone away in the U.S., but just as many have been created. But it may be a little sad that that's.
Yes.
Do you think like the FI UTMB races have decreased, like led to the active decrease?
By UTMB, I have a couple of things to say. Like, I mean, for example, Val d'Aran by UTMB, it's a big race. It's a major actually in Europe. Even the first year of the race, it was like, do you think this is gonna work? Like, nobody was there. The race was like kind of, but after the years, I have to say, like the race grew like crazy. Like now it's like 6,000 people running there. The closest thing that I see here this week in Chamonix, and that's probably one of the good examples that I think they create a new race.
And is it a good race?
I mean, it's a good race, okay. Right? So it's a good race, good atmosphere, good landscape. The place is amazing. And then there is another example that they tried to do Transvolcania by UTMB, and it didn't work because the atmosphere changed. Probably the people from the island they didn't even want the organization there, and it was a race from the government doing the race, so it didn't work. And right now they came back to the same organization as before, and I was there this year, and it kind of felt like, hey, this is back, the atmosphere is back.
No one hell was there at the media center, and you're
and the races, the people made the race there, but it is true that UTMB has something clear, and they have everything organized. The media with you gotta have internet to do this media coverage. And I was in Transvolcania this year. The hotel has no Wi-Fi or a shitty internet. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, but we're here to cover the race. Yeah, okay. Well, that kind of thing is cool from one side. Like, I mean, they don't even care, They invite you if you want to come, you come.
Do you want some rum cornet?
Yeah, but, so in Spain, I would say by UTMB, I think they made great events. Mallorca by UTMB, I think it's a cool event, even though they had to fight a little bit with the races. They actually did. They put like the mythical race in Mallorca 3000 to UTMB, but then after this year they separate again. So it's not easy, but I think in Spain they are making like big races with the option to to get stones and a lot of people from around the world. Valdaran is, I think, 60% outside of Spain. So I think it's good for the region. As Brian said, if you want to go to a different race with this different kind of atmosphere, blah blah blah, you can go, no problem, and you still have the big experience like Salomon Ultra Pirineo. No, it's not by UTMB. It's a great race, big race, nice landscape, nice organization from my point of view. So
and you could go to 50 or 100 different races and ultra races in Catalonia that aren't by UTMB or aren't Ultra Pirineo, that are just
they are just a small group of people doing a nice race because they wanna give you the opportunity to know the region, the village, whatever. To me, these are the best races. To me,
full a lot of cheers.
but you have the chance. You have the chance to choose different races, and that's cool to see, I think. Yeah.
And I know, like in Italy, is only one races by UTMB.
No, there's I think there's two.
Two?
There's Lavaredo and Chianti.
But Lavaredo doesn't even count because Lavaredo was like was like a huge and they haven't from as long as I understand they haven't like I've not been to it because it's Western States weekend every year. Christina, move it. But I don't think they've ruined that. So they've created one entirely new race, Chianti, and it's become very competitive.
Yeah, actually this year was one of the coolest race to see with the big guys.
And like other big races, like there's some by UTMBs that aren't competitive at all, but then like the Andorra Trail 100K the last few years has been really competitive. And some years is Valdaran, but one of the distances. But